Hello, and welcome back to Death Stranding. Hang on, I'm having technical issues. Welcome back to Death Stranding. When we left off, we had just done some more deliveries, trying to get the paleontologist to like us enough to tell us where the last collectible is. And now we're on our way back to him. With a Sleepy BB, or a Sleepy Lou. Come on. Sam! Why is Sam, like, not walking for me?
Good morning, Sam.
Alright, I think some people have some vehicles down here, so let's see if we can steal one of those to drive back faster. Wait, what do you mean he's heading to... Buddy bot, keep following me. What do you mean you're stuck? Oh my, what is happening? Oh, seriously, they've all respawned? I literally just killed them like 10 minutes ago. Fuck me, I'm not dealing with that. We're going around. Dude, why does Sam keep stopping walking? You guys see this, right? I'll just be walking. Nope. Walking. Nope. I don't get it. Yeah, we don't have BBs, and we have very low ammo, so don't feel like dealing with these assholes. Oh, God, fuck. Hang on. Yeah, there's no nearby player homes, is there? There's one over there, but that's really out of the way. But it would be faster than walking all the way back. Alright. We're going to that player home and just fast traveling. Okay, if I leave gear behind. Actually, I wonder if I load up Buddy Bot, he can bring the gear to me after I teleport. I never thought about that. That could be a very, very good use for Buddy Bot. He can bring gear to places for you when you fast travel. Oh my goodness. Dude, come, yeah, I'm trying to walk around with them. Sam, just walk! Why is he doing this to me? God, I don't fucking get it. Like, he just keeps freezing mid-step. I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. The fact that that keeps on happening. I want to cry. Hang on, Buddy Bot. Actually, no, let's not load him up yet. Look at the handsome man. I love him. That sweet boy girl with the big butt. Oh, you're kidding me. I didn't put away the guns yet. Fuck me. I really don't want to deal with this. Sam, you better fucking not fall over on me. I'm trying to reload, not shake off. Oh, God. Alright, buddy bot, come here. No, I'm trying to put things on him. Pretty sure everything else should come with me. God, the audio is fucking up for me for some reason. Sorry, guys. I don't know why that was happening. Rest in private room. Yes. Gonna sip my drink. God, what is happening with the audio? Why is my frame rate going to shit? Alright, there we go. Let's give Sam a little bit of a rest, and then we'll fast travel. New mail from the paleontologist. Could that be the last thing I need? Because that's what we're doing this for. We're trying to get a fucking email from the paleontologist, you know? God, why is it lagging so bad? OBS, are you good? Get all this down. Eat all that. Now let's go look at our emails. It's lagging again. OBS. Why is everything going to shit today? Or we didn't read this last time. We're lucky to be experiencing this extinction. Listen, Sam. If what we're currently dealing with is the 6th extinction, then surely studying the previous 5 is all key to avoiding it. That's why I've been trying to dig up fossils, you see. For a while there, I couldn't make any progress because of the tar. But then you brought along that bomb, and boom. I was back in business. Thank you so much for that, by the way. Studying fossils can teach us all sorts of things. It can help us to picture what happened during past extinctions. Problem is, though, no one can be sure we're drawing the right conclusions. That's why fossils alone aren't enough. Now this is going to sound weird, but from a scientific point of view, we're actually really lucky to be living in an extinction like this. We'll actually get to see for ourselves whether our fossil-based hypotheses were correct. Obviously, we want to avoid this extinction if at all possible. If we can't do that, though, then at least I want a record of whatever life forms end up taking our place. If you keep delivering cargo and reconnecting this country, you'll be helping make that happen too. The paleontologist. Much respect to porters everywhere. Yeah! 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 We can get the last data point! Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah! Sam, I've got a confession to make. I know I've complained a lot about that porter who dropped my ammonite, but the truth is, I myself struggled to deal with the VOG exposure once. Oh, oof. I know. Sorry. I know what you're thinking. How did I end up out here in this in the first place? Good question. I suppose I want to know for myself what the work was like. Get a better idea of what I was asking others to do on my behalf. Anyway, one time I neglected to wear a mask and ended up poisoning myself. Ugh. I started seeing all sorts of weird shit down below, like a strange glowing object, that kind of thing. I couldn't tell you if I was hallucinating or not. Thankfully, I made it back to my shelter in one piece, and told a porter pal about what I'd seen. He agreed to go take a closer look. Not something I'd have signed up for, so let me tell you. Unfortunately, no, it was a wasted journey. I never did find out whether the object I saw was real or not. Maybe I really was seeing things. I wouldn't be surprised. Or maybe he checked it out. Not all porters will see a job, or maybe he chickened out. Not all porters will see a job through like you. But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Now that I have a better idea of what you have to go through, I've got nothing but gratitude to it and admiration for all of porter kind. Alright. With that, we're not even gonna read the data. We're gonna go and get that fucking ship. 25 likes, damn. You doing good, Lou? I love you, BB. My sweet Lou. I love this game. Fragile jump. Oh, thank you to Joshelle and to Sakuni. Sakun? I hope I'm probably saying that wrong. I apologize.
Been a while, Sam. It's good to see you. Remember how to do this? You need to close your eyes and picture your destination.
Game. Just take BB's head like an apple. Just it'll be nice and juicy. It's still soft, so you don't even need to crack it like a coconut. It's the optimal time to eat the baby. Alright, let us get out of here. Sip my drink. Alright, buddy bot. I'm gonna need you to come to me. Is he following? Yep, he's following. Yep, there's the last data chip. Fuck yes. No, grab the rope, dude. God, Sam can be so annoying sometimes. I love this game. I think more games need to include the mechanics that this and Death Stranding have, of these subtle player interconnectivities. I absolutely love them. There's such a good aspect to the game. Where is it? Oh, am I standing on it? There we go. So, something I've been doing after much provocation from Moth Cryptid on this series is writing a fanfiction. And the one I've been writing is a crossover of Fallout and not Death Stranding, of Fallout and Dishonored, where I put all of the magic of the Dishonored world into Fallout. I've only released the prologue, and I'm still writing Chapter 1 with teasers of Chapter 1 dropping on the Ko-fi every now and again. But after I beat the sequel to this, I would love to add to the vote, because I let people vote on what fanfiction I write. I would love to add, a vote for, what is the thing? Death Stranding Fallout crossover. Where I put into the world of Fallout, you know, BTs, Death Strandings, Vogue, all of that shit. I think it'd be a really, really fun thing to do.
Clear. Remain locked until departure. All clear. Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges.
I already have ideas of how it would go. Share the memory chip. Hey, Fragile. Love ya.
Thank you for your Weapons restrictions lifted.
Alright, where's BuddyBot at on their journey? They're almost here. So it's a shame gonna have to do this to them. Let's go back down. And then we're gonna teleport again. Sorry, BuddyBot. Up to Mountain Knot.
You called?
Look at that smile.
Let's get this show on the road.
There we go. And now, let's go read some data. Frame Arms Kagatera. Frame Arms robots were combat-adapted mechanoids built on motive skeletons known as frame architectures. If fucking Kojima made a Gundam game? Oh my god! Kojima working on his own Gundam-inspired game would be so fucking good. Mr. Metal Gear himself making a giant robot battle game? Oh, I'd cream! They were originally developed in order to enhance natural capabilities of the human body so that new territory could be opened up to an increasingly cramped population. But when the fear for ever more limited resources escalated, they were adapted for more warlike purposes. Kagatora, an enhanced version of the Byoko model, was just one such war machine. Max Factory Ludden's Figma. It has been said that all human culture and civilization was built on play, and it's this belief that has driven the mania for Homo Luddens amongst the preppers, leading them to jealously hoard any Luddens-related goods that they happen to come across. This Figma is such an item, and uses custom articulated parts and flexible plastic in key locations to give the maximum possible range of motion without compromising on proportions, making an outstanding example of the genre. The piece was designed to capture the sense of a fusion represented by the Ludden's outfit, which brings to mind both the space suits worn by the astronauts and the suits of armor favored by knights of old. I really do love the London design. It is very fun. Big fish. I don't think I've ever seen this movie. According to director Tim Burton, it was the death of his father that led him to make this highly personal piece, in which a young hero, Will, revels in his dad's fantastic tales, only to come to resent him as he grows old enough to realize that they were nothing but wild flights of fancy. The movie explores the conflict and eventual recognition between a father who seemingly can't help embellish the truth and a son who's desperate to understand him before it's too late. Big fish stories might be bad enough, but when you consider that Big Bang was the term originally intended to imply the story of when you consider that Big Bang was a term originally intended to imply that the story of the origin of the universe was nothing but hot air, you start to think that all of existence might be one tall tale. Fright Night. Tom Holland wrote and directed this 1985 horror comedy, in which high schooler Charlie enlists the help of Peter, presenter of his favorite TV show Fright Night, in taking on the vampire menace next door. The idea of a TV host becoming a vampire hunter was already novel enough, but it was the vampires exploding when exposed to daylight that really struck viewers' memories. Okay, I have seen this movie. I was like, I feel like I've heard of this, and yep. And arguably led to the slew of sequels and remakes that followed. I don't think I've ever seen any sequels to it. I didn't know I had them. The bridge on River Kauai. At the height of World War II, the Japan Army attempted to bridge the River Kauai in Thailand, an endeavor of which they enlist the forced labor of British prisoners of war. As the project developed, tensions emerged between those who wanted to see a good job done and those who wished to destroy the bridge. Tensions made all the more complicated by the backdrop of war against which the story unfolds. The movie won several Academy Awards upon its release in 1957, including Best Picture. The screenplay was based off a novel by Pierre Boel, who would later go on to become even better known for his sci-fi classic, The Planet of the Apes. So the people who made... We recently had a Dune game come out from the people who made the Conan game. I would love for them to make a Planet of the Apes game where you play an escaped intelligent human being hunted by the apes in like in the Forbidden Lands over where the psychics live. If you watched the movies, you know what I'm talking about, the original ones. Like, really, really lean into the original movies, please. I want it. Well, perhaps less clear in the latter, it is often said that Buell's own experience of war provided inspiration for both works. Dr. Strangelove. The full title of this 1964 Stanley Kubrick black comedy is Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. It was released at the height of the Cold War, with the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962 still in recent memory. Kubrick's next film was 1968's 2001: A Space Odyssey, which at the time was greeted with mixed reviews and failed to make much of a splash in the box office. It has long since redeemed itself, however, and now enjoys the reputation as an all-time classic. Wine glass. Wine is loved the world over. And with good reason. It is the oldest known form of alcohol, having been produced for at least 8,000 years. However, it's a delicate and changeable brew, and light vibrations and temperature must all be carefully controlled during manufacturing process. The rewards for such care and attention are more than worth it, of course. A fine vintage is nothing else in the world. Those in the know believe that, that to truly enjoy a wine, the thinnest, lightest possible glass is best. Why, don't fucking ask me. But to deliver such a glass is a challenge that that in itself requires care and fine control, a true test of Porter's art. Really fun fact about glass blowing is it's one of those few arts which seems like it will never ever be automated. Like, there have been numerous attempts to create automated glass blowers, and at best we can make shitty vases. That's why you see a lot more mass-manufactured ceramic and plastic than you see mass-manufactured glass. Because glass still needs to be made by hand for the most part. I do believe cups and wine glasses are amongst the things we've learned to manufacture, but the more bubbly or dome-like something becomes, the harder it is to mass-manufacture. This is why glass art is more expensive than other ones. Incidentally, research is currently underway to how the beach might be used as a means of preserving fine wines. Fused silica. Glass is known for its fragility, but not all glass is easily broken. Some types are tough enough to survive for extended periods in outer space. During the development of the space shuttle, NASA went in search of such material that could withstand the intense temperatures of re-entry into Earth's atmosphere. Temperatures that can reach as high as 1,000 to 1,600 Celsius. They finally settled on fused silica, a glass whose heat conductivity is incredibly low, making it perfect for heat-resistant parts. Its high stability is unmatched, and unmatched transparency also makes it perfect for fiber optic telescope lenses, and it is even being researched as a possible ultra-high capacity recording medium. All of which goes to show that even among the so-called breakables, the occasional unbreakable item can also be found. So I have this real-life theory. We've recently begun to see a shift away from disc mediums back to cartridges, because we are now, we switched from cartridge and microchip storage to discs, because discs could store more information more effectively in a smaller space. But now, microchip technology has caught back up to the point where it's better to use SD cards, micro USBs, and cartridges again. But I feel like as this silica research progresses, we'll end up flopping back over to discs to create silica discs, because they will likely be able to house a lot more information. And in fact, I have the theory we're not going to see ultra-thin silica discs, we're going to see thick silica discs. Because you can store information in layers in silica, at least theoretically. Of course, some of the new breakthroughs in microscopic technology made by fucking Microsoft recently with their new quantum computing could prove my theory wrong. I love fucking real-life tech. The crazy tech breakthroughs. Reverse trike ride type. An enhanced model of the reverse trike, beloved by porters everywhere. It is a truly legendary machine that has been given serious let me do a different voice. Has been given a serious boost in battery power, and made impervious to damage. Inspired by Ride with Norman Reedus, the hit TV show, it's a masterpiece made with love and respect, and is said to have received rave reviews from the show's, I can't say that word right, host. A ride on the best, on this beast is sure to boost your excitement and oxytocin levels to the max. Okay, this makes me want them to give us more bios on in-game items. Lucio Fulewski's horror and thriller compilation. I love that fucking cover. Oh my god. A compilation album of tracks used in movies of Italian splatter horror master Lucio Fulewski? I think it's Fulewski. I was pronouncing the C wrong, because it's French. Including songs from such classics as A Lizard in a Woman's Skin, New York Ripper, Manhattan Baby, and The Beyond. I think The Beyond is the only one on that list I've seen. Sadly absent is anything from 1979's zombie classic Zombie 2, whose zombie design and groundbreaking performances and unforgettable music were a huge influence on later directors. If you ever get the chance, that's the soundtrack that's well worth a listen. These really do just feel like the music ones, the movie ones, or the music ones in particular, just feel like Kojima talking about his favorite music, and I love that. God of War original video game soundtrack. I was not expecting that to make it here, but I get it. It's a fucking beautiful game. God of War was a 2005 action game that made use of imagery and themes of ancient Greece. Many titles were subsequently released in the series, with the most recent, 2018's God of War, proving to be a true return to form. It is not a return to form, it is a reinvention of the game to turn it from a dude bro action fight fuck game to high goddamn art. Featuring an all-new story and setting with which range from Greece to Scandinavia, listening to this soundtrack is sure to provide a wind beneath the wings of your imagination, carrying you away to the world of the gods for another epic adventure. Valhalla Rising original soundtrack by Peter Cade. Peter and Peter Cade. Original music from the movie Valhalla Rising, starring Mads Mikkelsen and directed by Nicholas Winding Refn. The film tells the tale of One Eye, a legendary warrior of the Viking Age played by having lost his voice and one of his eyes. He radiates the almost superhuman magic of a hero straight out of the sagas of ancient Scandinavia. The movie is more than worth the watch, and the soundtrack is worth a listen too, having been composed by longtime Winding Refrain collaborators Peter and Peter Cade. We'll read the Die Hard Man ones first, and we'll go up. Die Hard Man's Past. Ooh. Background number 1. Recorder unknown. Recording date and time unknown. U.S. Special Forces enlistment record, John Blake McClane. Name, John Blake McClane. Nationality, American. McClane scored above average in physical and mental aptitude tests. His talents were recognized by Captain Clifford Unger, who elected to give McClane special training. Under Captain Unger's command, McClane took part in several missions, during which he earned a reputation for survival against all odds, as evidenced by his nickname, Die Hard Man. A name that for some reason I always forget. The following information concerning John Blake McClane's death was recovered following the activation of the chiral network. It is presented without comment or interruption. All personal data and official documentation concerning the subject indicates that he is deceased. However, even after reconstruction and collection of the data from additional sources, we are unable to confirm the cremation of subject's corpse. Unfortunately, recovery of incinerator records from the time in question has so far proved difficult, on account of the incident's proximity to the Death Stranding. While the possibility that the corpse underwent necrosis and subsequently transformed into a BT cannot be ruled out entirely, the probability is exceedingly low. In other words, there is no evidence that the subject has, in fact, died. Significant portions of the subject's personal data appear to have been discreetly modified and expunged, but the forensic study has led us to discover that a living individual who bears striking resemblance to the deceased. Subsequent analysis of the genetic samples do confirm that DNA match for this. Confirm a DNA match for this Die Hard Man. I will say, if I'm still missing journal entries, somebody please let me know. So when we left off here, he had started to kill people to maintain his powers and become a delivery man. And he met Amelie. Samantha America Strand. Amelie. The moment I met her, I knew she was destined to make us whole again. She told me we'd do it together, and even gave me a gift. A bridge baby. It's BT sensor of sorts, although it looks like a newborn, but it's not. Amelie says it was born on the beach, and that it serves as a link between our world and the other side. That's how they work. They are born on the beach from recently deceased mothers who are then resuscitated on life support to keep the Fuck, okay. She called it a new child for a new era. I'm not just a delivery guy anymore. I'm a herald for her and her new world. She's given me everything I ever wanted, ever needed, and now I'm free to cut Fragile loose. BB reminds me of a baby doll, but it's no toy, that's for sure. Neither dead nor alive. Half human, half something else. An inhabitant of the in-between, like a mummy. A lump of flesh wrapped around a shriveled yet still beating heart. So many symbols to choose from, all signifying that humanity's reached the end of the road. The Stranding was the big number 6. I see that now, and so much more. The void outs, the bodies birthing BTs, all aspects of a single phenomenon that exists solely to wipe us off the face of the earth. We can't stop what's coming. It's inevitable. Putting Humpty Dumpty back together won't change a goddamn thing, and risking life and limb to try is a fool's errand. Why sacrifice what little you've got in the here and now for a future that'll never come? It's wasteful and meaningless. Amelie'd agree, I'm sure. I met Amelie on the beach again, and pressed her for more answers about the Stranding. But she wouldn't give me anything. Maybe she's got nothing left to give. Maybe she's waiting till the time's right. I don't know and I don't care. All I know is there's no escaping extinction. I'm struggling to see her angle. Why even pretend to rebuild? Why rail against the inevitable? If there's another layer to this, I can't work it out. I'm getting sick and tired of trying. If she's not gonna let me in on her plans, I'm gonna have to assume the worst and take matters into my own hands. Give humanity the coup de grace myself. Just need the power to do it. Dear Diary, today I nuked Middle Knot City. Wiped it clean off the map. Didn't carry the bomb myself, of course. Fragile did the honors. Delivered my mercy to the people like a good little porter. I'm sure she's surprised, but she shouldn't be. Death and destruction are part and parcel for her parcel of the human condition, and bringing people together only exasperates that. Be careful what you wish for, eh? It's like when our ancestors came from the old world to the new and brought their old world diseases with them. Natives had no immunity, and over half died in the blink of an eye. Bam. And we've only come up with better, more effective ways of killing ever since. That network's just another means to hasten the end. This was always the logical conclusion of our efforts. Mine and Fragile's. Maybe that's why I partnered up with her. Because in my heart of hearts, I knew I was building to this. Sam Porter. Where to begin? Dooms? Repatriate? Lone Wolf? Amelie's adopted brother? Motherfucker. Impression I get is that he is a loner who found meaning in a group of good Samaritans. Yeah, I tried that mask on for size once upon a time. Sweet little Amelie, though, she buys into his act. Thinks he's got what it takes to make her America whole again. Or to help her make America whole again. I tell you what, the more I look into it, the more it seems like he might actually be a true believer. Fucking hell. Anyway, he's a dead man walking. Even with Amelie's help, he'll be in Central before long. And the second he shows up, I'm bringing a shit ton of BTs down on his head and torching that place to a crater. Then, it's bye-bye Sam Porter, bye-bye Bridges HQ, And bye-bye, expedition team. Sam's still alive. Not even a void out's enough to keep a repatriate down. Sticks in my craw. Sticks in my craw. I never heard that one. Second expedition got wiped out, obviously, but Sam seems happy to head west by himself. Stupid fuck's crazier than me. Or maybe just desperate. Still can't figure out why rebuilding a nation's so important to him. Well, whatever. He wants to keep at it. He can be my guest. Even if he still had others backing him up, it wouldn't make a difference. The ending's already been written. I've worked it out. Worked out exactly how it's gonna go down. But dooms alone isn't enough. I need a greater power to finish the job. To rain down fire and brimstone on the modern day Sodoms and Gomorrahs. I've discovered the truth about the Death Stranding. Amale's powers have nothing to do with dooms. She's destruction incarnate. The angel of the Death Stranding. The extinction entity. Understand now what my true role is. The bridges that will deliver her judgments to the bridge that will deliver her judgment to this world. The executioner of the end. No one knows. Not even Sam. But they will. Sam arrives in Port Knot City with Fragile to boot. Sam's arrived in Port Knot City with Fragile to boot. Think I'll meet them there. And bring a BT or two along for the ride. It's past time I showed Bridges how powerful I've become. Come one, come all. We have ourselves an annihilation party, and when it's over, there'll be no one left to come between me and Amelie and the end of the world. Goddamn is Sammy boy stubborn. Just ain't the quitting type. Seems it's rubbing off on Amelie too. Girl's trying to fight her true nature. Flip the script for all the good it'll do her. What difference does it make if it ends tomorrow or in a million years from now? The planet's 4.6 billion years old, and the universe, God only knows. Humanity's entire history, a blip on that timescale. What's the fucking point of fighting for a fraction longer? Anyway, Sam and Frangel made it to Lake Knot City, which is just as well. I reckon my old partner's due for a stroll down memory lane. A saunter through the crater she carved out with that nuke of mine. Come to think of it, maybe Sam ought to walk with her. Yeah, I think I'll make him make a special delivery for me. Well, shit. Sam and Fragile managed to dispose of my nuke before it went off. They weren't smart enough to see through my disguise, but something must have tipped them off. Probably what I wrote on the tag. I know I should have resisted the temptation, but come on! Who the hell reads that shit these days? You literally labeled it as an anti-modder bomb, you idiot. And now he's halfway to the coast. But yeah, he's in my neck of the woods now. And my boys ain't about to let up. We're gonna make him regret ever fucking with me and mine. The fuck was that storm that sucked up Sam? A supercell or whatever? I hooked up my BB just before I arrived, and it started shaking and blinking, and it's all gone sideways. And there's something else out there. Something's all kinds of fucked up. Don't need a BB to tell me that. I've got Amelie. Fucking finally. She's trapped in Edge Knot City. A horde of BTs all around. She's not going anywhere now. No. I'm gonna take good care of my sweet little angel of death. My extinction entity. We've got plans, me and her. As for Sammy boy, you're gonna learn what it means to really suffer. Welcome to the Edge, Sam. You're a real asshole. But I've got to admit, you got grit. You remind me of me. In that regard, and cause, we share a connection to Amelie. She gave you your dream catcher, me, my Cupid. But you've never seen her face, have you? Never looked her in the eye and seen her for what she truly is. Time to wake up and smell the ashes, Sammy boy. Time for you, or time for me to tell you, to tell everyone, the truth that hides at the heart of the Stranding. You're gonna love it. I'd go grab some shut-eye in the distro center or whatever, if I were you. We've got a showdown coming, and you're gonna want to be fighting fit. Just don't keep me waiting too long, you hear? You're all alone now. You've lost everything. Your mask, her Cupid, the BB doll, gone. You thought you had the power. That you were the one fated to lead them into extinction. Yet here you are, alone. You thought you were in control. That this was your role, your dream. The verge of victory. Of oblivion for one and all. Herald. Executor. Pawn. God particle. A stupid name for a stupid goddamn fool. This was your life, Higgs. Your tale, told by an idiot full of sound and righteous fury. Signifying nothing. Shelter. So number one begins with him being a delivery man, and we after he gets left behind, we flash back to the birth of his beginning. Oh wait, we still got more interviews. Shit, with who? What am I missing? Where is there still an entry for me? Oh, there we go. Oh, shit. Clifford Unger's Case Review Part 1. Unknown date, unknown place. Oh, man. Captain Clifford Unger, former U.S. Army Special Forces, honorably discharged, was shot dead at a government facility under executive supervision. It should be noted that prior to this altercation, he had cooperated fully with our researches and contributed to our ongoing BB experiments. On the day of the incident, Captain Unger took an experimental BB hostage and barricaded himself inside of one of the facility's rooms. After assessing the situation, the President ordered that a non-violence resolution be pursued, ensuring no harm came to either Captain or BB. Fucking lie. However, this order was directly contravened by Presidential Advisor John Blake McLean, who shot and killed Clifford Unger. I am fucking seething. Fuck Amelie. Fuck Amelie. Following the incident, McLean refused to surrender himself into custody and fled, and was accordingly designated as a most wanted fugitive. Efforts to locate and detain McLean were unsuccessful. However, the search was later called off when an unrelated investigation into a suicide found the deceased possessed the same social security number as McLean. The body was cremated before physical identification could be performed. Clifford Unger Case Review Part 2. John Blake McLean was placed under Captain Unger's command upon being accepted into the U.S. Army Special Forces. McLean performed exceptionally in training and subsequent deployment, earning commendations and reputation as a born survivor who could be thrust into the worst situation imaginable and emerge unscathed. Around the time Captain Unger was discharged, McLean was chosen to serve as special advisor for President Bridget Strand. Though his primary duty was to ensure her personal safety, he became intimately involved with her and Bridges intimately involved with the became intimately involved with the Bridges 1 initiative. I can read. As established by President Strand. Several days prior to the hostage incident, it is suspected that McLean collaborated with Captain Unger to abduct a BB. It has since been confirmed by McLean actively compromised security protocol in a manner which directly aided Captain Unger in his attempt. Therefore, it seems likely that McLean resolved to kill Captain Unger upon concluding that their plot had failed. Though their motive remained unclear, it is speculated that Captain Unger was in possession of compromising information regarding his former subordinate, which he leveraged to secure McLean's assistance in abducting a BB. When this attempt failed, McLean killed Captain Unger in a moment of desperation to prevent him from revealing what he knew. I fucking hate this. Later, when McLean grasped the gravity of his situation, he chose to take his own life rather than face the consequence of his actions. Due to the circumstances surrounding the murder of Captain Unger and subsequent suicide of John Blake, President Strand assumed direct control of Bridges to ensure that the BB experiments continued. As the organization's preview was expanded, their restrictions were reduced. They became President Strand's primary security apparatus, an elite organization under her direct command, wholly devoted to the mission of American Reconstruction. A new director was subsequently appointed to lead Bridges, an individual known as Die Hard Man. Alright. That's been this episode of Death Stranding. Look. Man, shit. Alright. Plans from here. If any of you know that I'm still missing journal entries and how to unlock them, please let me know in the comments or in the Discord, and I will try and go and do that. Beyond that, we're going to go off on a special little personal mission next episode, and then after that, we're going to start doing all of the shooting range missions for fun, and then we'll start moving on to out-of-game Death Stranding related content. Hope you've all enjoyed, and cards appearing in a moment, and ta-ta for now.